4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to AI Unchained.
No,
I don't think anybody's
that's an
watching yet, so nobody
intro.
had to see that.
No, everyone needs to see that.
In a world. All right. Build a to-do app with AI. Guy and Hope. Cool beans.
Funny. Oh,
We are live,
that's it.
motherfucker. The algorithm
It'd
will
be a
suppress it
funny
immediately.
live stream title if we were just like spreading misinformation about AI. That's our title.
Doing the best. Doing the best of misinformation's goal. All right.
Just
Where is my Brave browser? Brave browser. Wait, were you showing up in that? Oh no, I don't want this to be wrong. I'm only seeing me. I'm only seeing me in the live stream. I mean,
Are
I'm
you live
gorgeous.
streaming from AI Unchained,
I'm a
or
pretty person.
this is objectively
I
true?
am live
But
streaming. I am live streaming from Riverside, but for some reason I don't see you. Oh, I see you. I see you now. We're live.
you do? I'm
We're
still
live.
here.
Live video will return when their internet improves. Your internet sucks. Your internet sucks, Hope.
Fuck.
All right, well let's just
Fuck, I mean,
continue forward.
Let
Let's
me
see.
close a bunch of tabs.
Let's just
That
see
might
what
be the
happens.
problem.
Oh yeah, my internet does suck, don't
Yeah,
it?
that never hurt. I didn't think about this problem. Do it live. All right, coding corner. All right, while you're figuring that out, I want to ask, so how do we want to build this to-do app? In the sense of like, what kind of scope of access do we want it to be? Do we just want it to be like a simple, like GUI?
Repeat what you were saying.
For the
I
cut off
to-do
at the
app
beginning.
is for the to-do app, how do we want to, what kind of end product do we want? Do we want like a little GUI, like on like Mac desktop or something that we can just check mark? Essentially the reminders app almost.
Yeah, I was thinking chunking stuff. So like you need to have an understanding doing to some extent.
It's like
No matter how
you're not going to be able to,
to just not know.
at least not all that
I think that's very unlikely. So I think chunking is the best way. First start out with like a
front end.
and then we could have a database that like between sessions with just and then we can stuff and then connect those two using AI greatly. But once you add servers, there's like a whole list of things that can like AI can give you code for a certain thing and that can mess everything.
Just,
Like
there's
so
all kinds of
things
things.
that could go wrong. So I think tackling one thing at important. So
React app
on the front end, using
using
local storage as a database
that just saves the notes.
I think that's a good start. Oh no, I can't hear you. You're muted.
Oh, I'm just muted. I'm an idiot. Never mind. All right. So the first thing then, so we're just doing React front end and local database. When you did this in your little test run, did you build this? What was your database choice? Actually, you know what? Let's actually start right there. So I want to build a small to do
So
reminder
definition
on my Mac.
I'm
Talking about the place
where you store data. I'm not talking about
Mhm.
database technology like Postgres or anything
like that.
storage, which is just a like a JSON, and using that as a database. There's no
Okay.
specific database to use on a front end.
Okay. So this is interesting actually because I think about it like I use Obsidian a lot, which is a markdown notes app, and I realized that like I could swap out that like a JSON thing like that and just use it entirely in markdown, and I can actually have it update with my Obsidian notes probably without even having to plug it into Obsidian. Anyway, getting ahead of myself. Um want to do oops. React front end and a
I'd
I'm
recommend
not going
staying
to
away
say
from the local database language. I think it's very
okay.
likely that if you just say you want to, and then
You want to store it.
the notes between, that would almost certainly
Yeah.
be enough for the GPT to make a
Not
connection
programming
between
language.
local
Yeah,
storage. Yeah.
yeah. Let's see what they got. I want to build a small to-do app and reminder in a reminder app in my Mac. React front end and store the notes or items locally on my Mac. How would I best go about this? All right. Install Node.js and npm. React requires Node.js. You can download and install it from blah blah blah. Install React using create React app to bootstrap your React front end in your terminal. Run npx create React blah blah blah. Text editor. Build a React front end. Local storage. Local data storage.
So
IndexedDB.
for the
Okay.
record, for
So
anyone
mhm.
watching, the Mac, this is substantially simpler. If you're running Windows, Linux and Mac are very
Mhm.
similar in how they operate with this. Windows is a bit more complicated. Um, these steps won't help uh, you with that.
Gotcha. So, as someone who has done a dry run on this, and you see these steps, so we got 9 steps here.
Mm-hmm.
uh, Install Node.js, React, have a text editor, build a React front end with a couple of different components, state management, the style, blah blah blah. Then local storage, IndexedDB, um, and Electron, more desktop app-like experience. Interesting. Uh, and then reminder functionality, testing and debugging. Do you see anything specifically out of this that feels unnecessary or where you're like, no, I don't need that step, or you would change some step in
Electron.
this? Yeah.
Electron. I wouldn't use that. Other than that,
And why
it would.
bring up a
We're looking at this from a beginner programmer perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Electron, I don't think. In order to understand Electron's relationship to React,
like that moving
into Electron and like
not
get completely screwed over when you get lost.
lost.
A lot of specialized understanding. I
Mm-hmm.
are and then I would probably duplicate the tab. It would just be the specific prompt and response, and then another tab I would just be going through the overall abstract outline is given and ask. So
Like
it says install npm and node on your machine, and then run npx
Mm-hmm.
create React app. All those commands, that's all good.
Mm-hmm.
It says create components. So if this the shortcomings of AI programming, if your
Mm-hmm.
end all be all to this, you could just put the components in the src folder that create React app would create.
Yeah.
If for a bigger thing and you have no idea what you're doing, following these steps exactly is going to lead you to a very bad spot, bigger project because AI still isn't at a
Okay.
understanding
of technical debt, which is
Yeah.
as
I'm sure you've figured
It,
out.
it doesn't really have like a broader picture of what's going on. Obviously, it's doing micro connections from immediately what we just talked about to what the next step would be. Um,
And in order to use AI
those more complicated
complicated things, you
already
already
need to
have an understanding and have an in your mind, and then just know exactly what little parts you need it to build its own in that capacity. So that's why
mm-hmm.
starting
with this particular
environment in a particular
language in a particular
scope
Oops.
will help you because you do need to understand what you're doing. There's really no getting around that.
Mm-hmm.
But back to what I was saying before, the step one is all good. And then step two would ask to give me code for the to-do list. Like it says, step two, building the React front end components, create components for a to-do list, such as to-do item, add to do and reminder.
Mm-hmm.
I would ask it to give me the
Okay. All right. Well, let me do the first part then.
yeah. Oh yeah, that's good.
npx create. I think I have Node.js.
You definitely have all this. You've
Wouldn't this be?
machine, right?
Yeah.
you definitely have this.
Well, should I go through the process anyway, just for the sake of the video? Why not?
Yeah.
Right? LTS or current? What do you think? Recommended for most users?
I would go with LTS always.
Continue, install. I agree. I read the whole thing. It's very in depth, and this isn't going to show me. Okay, good. I read that lengthy contract. Terms and agreement. Okay. That's interesting. I wondered if it would tell me. I probably just installed it at a second time to a different location somehow. That's what I did with Python. Man, I had Python
Yeah,
in
I
so
hope
many
it
different
didn't
places,
break
and I keep
anything.
installing it in like different Docker things. Now, what my parent drive is not going to work. Um, okay, so we've got that. Install React. This I don't know. Use create React app to bootstrap your React front end in your terminal.
Create React app
Is
is a
that actually
command.
installing? I was about to say, what is
But-
that?
So with npm, there's this thing
React.
called node, and when
see what
you
it says.
install, oh yeah, we could see.
Mm-hmm.
Generally, I haven't seen them have good answers.
Mm-hmm. Install Node.js and npm. And I obviously have npm, but I guess I would do brew install npm, or what do I do to check whether or not I need to update it? Or would I have done this with brew?
npm-v.
Okay, npm -v. Let's say I don't have npm. Would that be something Homebrew
You
would
would just
install?
go to
Or I
Node.js's
could install
website.
with Homebrew? Okay.
I've
Yeah,
just
I could
gone.
do it. Okay.
npm
This is an
and
odd
I
answer.
don't think you the others.
Gotcha. Okay.
Package manager.
Okay. Okay, so this is just like a whole bunch of like kind of unnecessary and repetitive to what, for something that's trying to be like real good on like resources, because I gave it like 100 items or whatever to make as a HTML list the other day, and it gave me like 5 of them, and then said Now do this with the rest of them. And I was like, I don't want to do it with the rest of them. That's why I asked you to do it. And I kept getting it
Saying it's
to do them at like 5 at a time, and until I can't even remember what I did. I said, please stop truncating this and just give me the whole list. But then like I'll ask like a
it's
simple question, and rather than just clarifying, it gives me like 18 steps and this half a 2 pages worth of explanation on all of this. Uh, so okay, I'm gonna just do this on desktop. CD,
yeah, it's like
yeah.
AI can help you write code
Mm-hmm.
so long as you know what those blocks of code are gonna say.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, and it does decent at being able to work out, but you're probably gonna have a lot of unnecessary stuff if you like 100% follow. And it'll work probably, most likely. At least that's what
it
can
can
give
be
you
a
a
I've
good
good
run into
starting
with
starting
the stuff
point.
that I've built so far. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
So
So.
yeah, create React app. You were asking about installing. So install what that
Oh,
npm projects. What that means is there's
this
this
folder.
like if you run this little boilerplate,
If you haven't done it,
yeah, I would just
Okay. Let's
copy
do.
paste those.
Ow. Let's give that a shot.
Use a text editor.
Error. 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 Error.
code.
Really? npm install npm.
Sudo chat.
That might work. I can't see your terminal, so
Oh, you can't. Oh crap.
no.
Am I? I'm sharing. I'm sharing Brave, not my screen. That's why. Whoops. All right, there we go. There we go. That's what I was. All right, so here's the terminal. So I just went to desktop, uh, and then npx create React app my to do app cd npm start. This is what it gave me.
Oh, you're in a protected
Install.
folder. Show it.
Uh, well, let's see. Okay, so I'm in a protected folder. So what would that mean that I needed to do? I just need to go to.
It
Do I need to
actually gives you
sudo
the
or something
commands.
or?
Well, it depends. You can sudo it. There's all
Mm-hmm. Sudo.
change ownership,
Tips.
so you don't
Have to see.
I
I recommend
recommend
changing
ownership so you don't have to go on desktop. But I also
Okay,
don't know your setup or why in the first place, so I could be wrong.
gotcha.
Like, yeah.
Let's see what
Oh, it's
I
npm.
tried
That's
to
sudo.
run the initial. It's npm, yeah. I just saw that too. Initial code, and it returned these errors. All right, so I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to enter the code as well that I tried to run. Let's see what it gives as an answer. Assuming I can't read any of that, even though some of it's kind of explicit. It's a common issue on system where npm commands have run with sudo in the past, resulting in some files being owned by the root user. Resolve this, you can follow the steps, change ownership of the npm cache directory. Ownership.npm. So copy. Change ownership, clear the npm cache, optional. We'll do it. Update npm, optional. All right, after
so
fixing,
now
create a
try.
React
You
app
could just
again.
press up.
Oh, that's right. Thank you.
No, that's true.
Need to install the following packages. Well, that's a whole lot less errors than last time. Create
Yeah.
React app at 5.0.1. So it just did that automatically with npm or Node.js.
Mhm.
Excuse me. Okay.
Yeah, no,
Recording on
npm
React.
npm installed that. The Node package manager.
My to do app. That's a terrible name. I'm gonna change that later. All right. Installing. All right. NVM. Let's see what else it has going here. Avoid using sudo with npm. Thanks. That's what I just did. Oh no, I guess I just changed the folder. So technically not. Terminal wants to control Google Chrome.
Yeah, it's gonna open up
It's gonna open up your.
yeah.
Oh,
It's gonna open up a
yeah,
tab
yeah, yeah.
for your yeah.
That makes sense. Okay, yeah.
Oh, create React app creates. Can you video code? So go to the terminal,
Dumb that down a bit.
Control
Yeah.
C, Control C,
Yep. Close it.
code space dot
Code space dot.
code, yeah, and then space dot.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
Which yeah, anyone watching, you're gonna get used to doing that. Oh, you don't have VS Code? Oh shit. Oh,
That's probably why then. Yeah. Open.
And then
Wait.
you open this in
What
VS
am I
Code?
doing? This is new to me. I'm doing what with it?
Press
'Cause
back once
it
to
just opened me
go.
a finder.
Yeah, that's what open
Back
does.
to what?
Oh, it doesn't.
That's so funny. I've
CD
always
dot dot.
done open dash a finder whenever I wanted to do something like that. I didn't know you could just do open. Um, say again. CD dot dot
That's why I like Mac. Open dot or
dot.
yeah, and then write to do app, and then open with. I think you with
No, because
no shit.
again, I don't think I have VS Code. And then in
You don't
addition,
have
this
VS
is just going
Code?
to show up as a folder right now. No,
Get VS Code.
no, I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure what that is. Okay, how do I get VS Code?
Uh,
All right, well, hold on
look
a
up
second. Hold on a second. How do we? What should I do with? What is VS Code going to get me, and how do I do this with
It's
AI in the sense that? Oh,
yeah. Uh,
okay. So,
ChatGPT did reference VS Code in its response. If you see scroll up,
mm-hmm.
Visual
Visual Studio Code is what it said.
I believe. Oh yeah, that's a language. People usually just say VS Code.
There we go. Okay, so
Yeah.
development tools. Okay, so yes, I have Sublime Text, Cot Editor, Script Editor. Okay, so Visual Studio Code is just one of those. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, I was not putting two and two together. Um,
See, that's what I
so
mean.
should
Things
I
that I
open
take for
this?
granted. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I mean, if you have another,
See.
VS Code is just
This one is the one that I
most
have
thing.
enjoyed. And I assume this one will mostly do whatever. Like, there's probably not something
I don't.
super special
So the
different.
reason why
VS Code.
is so awesome
Mm-hmm.
is because it has a lot of extensions that
To help
help with React. It has a terminal built in on the bottom that you could things with.
Okay, that's fun.
syntax highlighting. It has
Yes, script editor has
stuff.
that, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, but that only lets me do Apple script. So let's do the app store. Can I get it through the app store, or should I just install it a different
I'm
way?
not sure. I have never tried.
Visual Studio Code, clone in VS Code.
Mm-mm.
Doesn't look like it. Nope.
Hold on.
Yep.
Yeah, there used to be a whole bunch of people used for text editors, but if you download VS Code and use it,
Downloading
you'll see
this.
why no one uses anything else.
All right.
Here. Oh, you already got it. Okay.
Go. Oh, yeah. All right. Visual Studio Code. Let's open it up. Yep. All right. So should the code dot now work? Dark, dark.
But
Yes.
you might have to restart the shell or the terminal, but
Okay,
yeah,
yeah.
it
Yeah, I guess so,
should
because I
work.
just installed it. Source control. Run and debug. Extensions. Oh, this is going to be neat. And there's tabs.
Oh, there's
All right.
all kinds of stuff. There's also GitHub Copilot integrated with VS Code, which
Integrated. Oh my God, that's great. Because that probably means I can
yeah,
go
you know how
into the
autocomplete
streaming
like
code stuff
autocomplete,
and
but instead of
plug it
normal
right into
autocomplete where it completes the word, it's just GitHub Copilot always running.
complete code.
Yeah, and then at
That's
any point
awesome.
you just press tab and whatever it has, it will put in. It's really cool.
Okay, then.
So
I
go
am
Open.
CD
or not the command, but
code
cd my to do app.
dot. Oh
No,
yeah.
no, no, see or code
my
my to do app. Yeah, do that
I'll
and
do it
then
from in
code.
here
dot.
since that's where we started.
Yeah, see, it didn't add
Don't
the
install
path.
it via terminal. Oh man, am I gonna have to like
ChatGPT,
manually add the
ask.
path? Okay.
I would ask
Okay.
Chat. You don't have to. You could
All right.
also
Let's
from
assume
VS
I
Code just
followed.
open.
Yeah. Let's just see. Okay. Maybe we'll just do it from the GUI then. Let's just do it. Let's just do it that way. We're going to. You have not yet opened a folder. We'll close all current open editors. Keep it installed. Add a folder instead. Huh? Don't trust. Yes. I guess I trust the authors. I trust the authors of all
Yeah.
files in the parent folder. Yes. I believe I am. Okay. All right. So
Okay,
now we have
so
Visual Studio Code. We have our
now to
My To Do
answer the
app,
question about
and we have it open.
installing that node
Mm-hmm.
modules folder, when you install a React app, that node modules folder is where all the installation goes. So it's not like you're not installing anything in your operating system. You're just downloading files that are part of the build. So yeah, you'll
Okay.
never directly work with
So it's a
node
little bit
modules.
like
That's the installation.
it's like sort of like Docker in a sense, is that it's containing everything
No,
in itself. No. No what?
you lagged out, or I lagged out most likely.
Oh. Yeah, I don't see your video. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Um, but so you're saying that this will kind of load everything locally rather than install it on the operating system, sort of in a pseudo Docker like sense?
Yeah, it's similar
Okay.
to Python virtual environments.
Mm-hmm.
It's similar to that where it keeps like a local
The
local
Vim,
installation.
the Vim.
Yeah, the VM. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Um. Okay. Okay. So we've created our to do app. and we've created a React app, and we opened up a random thing that is sitting and spinning just like this. Uh, and we now have the Visual Studio as well. So what do we do now? Building the React front end. Components. Create. Yeah, this is use it for writing code. Create components for your to-do list, such as to-do list, to-do item, add to-do, and reminder. Use React's use state for context API. All right.
I would start with
I
just
want
asking it to give you the code for one of the to-do list component.
okay. Give me the code for the to-do list item for the front end. To-do item and to-do list. Basic structure for displaying a list of to-do items and marking them as completed. Represents a single to-do item. Function to-do item. To-do list component. This component renders a list of to-do item components. Import to-do item from dot to-do item. Blah, blah, blah. Using the components. Function set
So
values.
it's very common with AI when you ask it to do certain things and it gives you multiple of these. These you probably want to put all those different blocks in separate files.
Okay.
Because you asked it to give you the to-do list component, and the to-do list component utilizes other subcomponents. So if you scroll back up and you look
To-do
at
item
the first
and yeah.
yeah. So you want to look at the top of each of these blocks has import statements. That's a strong indicator that it wants each of these.
It needs its own
file.
file. Yeah.
So
Okay. So
I
where
would
would I
put
put these
I would
files? Okay.
src.
Well, hold on a second. Let's say here's an example how you might use these components in your app. Let's see what it says first. Represents a single to-do item, renders a list, holds the state for all to-do items, toggle completes a function that toggles. You can further style these components using CSS to add more functionality like adding new to-do items and deleting them. This code provides basic structure. Okay.
ChatGPT will generally
I
assume that you know how to put these
made
things
each
in your
of these,
project.
yeah, a different file. Where would I place them so they work together? Let's just see if it understands my terminology and everything there.
It might have
It's
a hard
common.
time. It's about how you name them more than where you place
Yeah.
them.
It maintains a clear hierarchy for
Hey,
your to-do app, with separate files for each component, succession structure, source, components, to-do list, to-do item.js. Okay. Well, that answers a potential question too, is how do I save these things? I want to save them as .js. Of course, that might happen automatically if I just select a file. Would it not? Would it assume that?
I'm not sure.
Public.
I would just right click
All right,
on the
so
folder. I would right click on SRC and just new folder,
and then do new file.
components, new
Oh
folder,
wait,
new
oh,
folder.
excuse me. That's right.
You could also do new file and then components slash. Yeah, I would recommend not doing uppercase just for conventions. Most people don't
Okay.
do that. So
Well, let's
when you
assume I'm
get
just
and
I'm following its instructions to the T.
off of code that mostly
I
follows those
lost you.
conventions. You lost it? Hello?
No, I lost you for a second there.
Oh.
All right.
Well, it's
So
important
new
to
file.
stay with conventions to the best of your knowledge
Mm-hmm.
because the AI is trained off of code that only works off of the same conventions. So if you stray away from
convention.
conventions in the beginning, that's going to make it more and more, less and less likely that you get relevant
Thanks.
in the long run.
All right.
.js.
Oh, yes. All right. Now I'm going to do another new file, and this is to-do list. New file, to-do list.js. Copy. All right.
Ah man,
And
I'm gonna
then
get
using the
Ethernet for
components.
the next live stream.
Get plugged in. In fact, I should actually do that exact same thing. I ran an Ethernet cord the other day, and I made myself a new cord for the AI machine. And I don't have anything. I'm in a basement, so it's like it doesn't matter if I just have cords all over this place. So I just need to hardline everything while I'm down here. Here's an example of how you might use these components in your app. So app index package.json, explanation of the structure, how they work together. This component will import to do item and use it to render each thing app.js. This is your main application component. So is that what it's saying? Is that this JavaScript here? Import React, use state from React, import to-do list from /to-do list. So that makes me think it wants to be in the same list under components because
Yeah.
it thinks it's in the same folder. So what would this component be called? So I'm going to copy this code.
Oh,
I'm going to
that is
say,
a contradiction you found. No, that's the app.
That
That's the app.tsx.
so that is the app.
Um,
Okay, because I kind of thought that
yeah.
might be what it was, but
So you want to update the import. Um, you want to
where it
update
imports
the
from.
that's the
So it'll be
yeah
slash components slash to
yeah
do list,
slash to
right?
do.
Okay. All right. So does app.js have anything
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. It was
functioning?
app.js, not app.tsx. Yeah. So import to do list.
So does this all stay right where it is? Nothing changes here, or should I delete all this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd go to the end of line 2 and press enter. Yeah, and then
And
go to
then
yeah,
paste
import yes.
to do list items, and then I'm going to change this. This is one thing just for anybody watching. This is something that I find more than anything else is locations need to change. Like it doesn't have any idea of like what the structure is on your computer, and it doesn't know what it's looking at. And I can't tell you how many times I will even tell it what I think the relevant structure is, and it still just points to the wrong thing or the wrong folder. Like these two apps down here, the new project, my workflows for making AI Unchained and a Bitcoin Audible episode. Um, that was the biggest thing is the variables weren't named consistently because I pieced it together, and somehow I guess if my conversation got too long, maybe it was like truncating things and not remembering the variables right, so it would just kind of like guess as to what the variable was. So like one of them would be like destination md folder is the variable, and then by the time I got to the end of it, it was just calling it destination folder, and I had to go in and look for it as it got kind of like more elaborate. I had to go in and look and figure out that that mismatch was happening, which is why it wasn't, coming up with, it wasn't putting things in the right folder. Um, okay, cool. So it automatically knows my structure.
Yes. You have two function
Oh,
app. You
whoops.
see line 33 down? Just
Function
give
app. Yeah, that's the old one. Is there any reason I
yeah,
need
line
this?
33 down to the end. No,
delete.
delete all.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the pretend app that it just made. that's sitting right
This
here.
is
I
this is
guess.
the create
right?
React app default, yeah. And we're just deleting that.
Okay. Whoops. All right. So
And then you want to save all
now I have
these.
components.
Yeah. I'd
Uh,
Command S on all these files.
okay. On each one.
Or save. Yeah, you could also do save all. So you see in the text
That's interesting. So this
top
is kind of like a
the
miniature file
tabs.
system, and
Yeah.
I'm saving them one at a
To
time.
do you see the dots
Shift out
on
labels.
the tabs? Those big white dots on the nope, to the right.
Oh,
To the right.
yes,
Yes, those
where the
dots.
X shows up.
Those means
Yeah.
that the dots mean that there's unsaved changes.
Unsaved. Gotcha.
You want to
Okay,
save
so
those
I'm gonna
before
do
you run it.
Shift Command S, and is this gonna ask me individually app.js and then to do
I have
item
no
and then blah
idea.
blah blah? Well,
I
let's
have
see.
no
I'm gonna save
idea.
this
I
one.
usually just reflexively Command S.
I'm gonna replace it. Command S, Command S. Okay, so I still had to do, even when I hit Shift Command S, I still had to do each one,
There might
and
be
I
a
just had to
different
overwrite app.js
key.
because it was already there. Say again.
So now we
Be able to just run this.
I don't think it's still running. I think if you refresh localhost 3000, it's not going to do anything because we stopped. So
I was about to say we changed stuff,
I
so
I
yeah.
would just do code. Yeah,
Uh,
I would do
code
code
space.
dot again. Or no. I'm sorry.
Command not found
npm run
code.
start.
npm run start.
All right, actually, again, we're getting away from ChatGPT. Let's see. So, example, import to-do list from
It
components
gave us
to-do list.
everything.
No, I know. I just want to ask it how to start it.
Oh, good idea.
I have created the separate components and updated the app.js. How do I run this app and see what it does? I have to keep pretending that you don't know the answer to these. See it in action. Ooh, we're going slow right now. This thing's freaking out.
You asked it the
Our
most
conversation's getting really
philosophical
long.
question it's ever heard, and it's like, how do I run a React app?
CD. Oh god, this is npm start. Shouldn't it be npm run start, or will npm start run it too?
There's also yarn start, because yarn
Okay.
is also a commonly used replacement for npm. I don't think npm start works. I don't
Let's try.
think. I've also
Oh,
oh, it does work.
oh, it does. It's not very
Let's
pretty.
go. So
And
now we need an input form. I have never tried to do CSS with AI. I
with
wonder
with
I wonder what would
Chat
happen if you asked it to
GPT.
make it, how do I make it look pretty or something?
Mm-hmm. Oh, oh, that's it. Okay, so I can just, these are my to-do items. Wait, I didn't even see that. Where was the? This is what happens when you have something else write your code for you. Is it just shows up and you're like, I don't even know what these pieces are. Where's my Visual Studio? Oh, I'm an idiot. Okay. Okay, yeah. So here are my two to-do items: is learn React and build a to-do app. Wow, that's amazing. So right now I have two different items, and I can just click and make them undone or
Yeah.
done.
So with AI, it's super important to do one thing at a time. So
Yeah.
now I think the next thing we'd want to do is had a form.
I lost you.
Hello? Can you hear me?
So the next step, I assume what you just said, which will show up in the
The
video
next
that
step,
recorded, but
it's very important that
is
you
create a way to
ask
input.
AI to do one thing at a time.
Yeah.
And so the next thing I would do is say, the prompt I would give it is, can you give me a form to add more uh, to-do items?
Simple form to add to do items and a button with a
That's implied with form.
uh,
Oh, but you
oh,
maybe
it's just gonna give me a button with a plus symbol.
yeah.
Wow, I'll be specific. Um, to on the main. So basically, I would attack this like every single like little feature or addition I would want in the form. I just ask like, now can you give me a to-do date? And with the to-do date, can you set me a reminder on my
The
calendar or
reminders is
whatever it is, and
that's a
thing into
whole
itself.
that's a can of worms. We're trying to get the to-do
Mm-hmm.
list working right now.
Yeah.
And it's
I'm just
giving
talking about
basic
thinking
styling.
about the path.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool. I like it. I can tell
I
this is going
think
to be
so.
pretty because I don't know what any of this is.
um,
All
I
right.
think I would also ask it. It said it put it directly in
Mm-hmm.
app.js. I would ask it to put that component in its own file.
Okay.
Can you put the new to do form in its own file?
The new
New to do form component.
form.
I would say the word component. No, new to do form component in its own file. Yeah.
I love
I
when I
feel
spell
very
stuff wrong
strongly
and it still knows exactly what
Chat
I'm gonna
GPT
do.
probably. Yeah.
That's probably a really good. That's probably a really good lesson or frame to have for any of this, just because the less you have in any individual file, the the more likely ChatGPT is going to give you a better result. The smaller and more succinct you can make every individual piece of it, the less likely things are going to conflict with each other. If one piece of this thing has like 500 lines of code, it's just not going to do well.
Mm-hmm. All the
Okay.
worst kind of bugs stem from trying to make one thing do two things.
Do too much. Yeah,
So,
to do
yeah,
two things. One thing does a one thing. Create the
exactly.
to-do form component. Okay, so this is my to-do form. Let's go back to it. You were right, by the way. I can't believe I haven't been using Visual Studio. To do, oops, form.js.
And then just
All right,
paste.
and save. Man, programming is difficult.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and
Can't
it
believe
gave
I'm
you
a
the
programmer
update to
now.
app.js.
Yes, it did. Yes, it is. So how do I update this? So now I need to. So this is the new line that it's going to add, and then
And it kept the
so
context of
this
the
was
other
the same
stuff.
as before. Date to. All right, let's look at this. Let's compare this to what I already have right now, so that we can see what's changed.
It added the to-do list component in the
Mm-hmm.
render.
But it doesn't have the constant toggle. It's missing the other stuff that it added.
It put it in the to-do form. Do you want me to explain the changes? I can do that.
Yes, that
You
would be
have the
great.
toggle yeah. So can you move?
I'm gonna put
Yeah.
these next to each other.
So the toggle complete function updates the to-dos with the new um that
Okay.
just changed to add to do.
Toggle complete.
Toggle complete changed
Okay.
to oh, wait a minute. Toggle complete is gone.
It says is completed
Is
false.
completed is its
To-do
own.
list. Function app constant to-dos set to-dos. It may have accidentally All right, how about this? I'm gonna save
Wait,
this.
wait, wait, wait. Scroll down
Um,
more. I wonder if it changed other stuff. No. Okay.
Okay.
rendering.
So
So
yeah,
yeah,
this would be a breaking
Maybe it
change.
tells us how to deal with this. Add in your import the to do form component and use it to do form.
I'd recommend
So
just
I
doing
think
exactly what it
this is
said.
suggesting.
Once you do exactly what it said, just it's gonna give you an error, and then try pasting the error and seeing if it figures it out.
I wonder if, because this doesn't say replace what's in my app.js, it says import to do form, the to do form, and use it.
Oh,
So I'm
yeah.
wondering if it's wanting me to do this. Can Is there a reason, like would both of these functions, like function app, they're going to conflict, right? The fact that these are the
So
same.
if you want to combine these things, what I would do is I would look at what ChatGPT just gave you, and I would look at what you have and see
Mm-hmm.
what did it add that is not, and that's probably what's
Mm-hmm.
necessary. So if you see it said
to do
to
set to
do's equals use state empty array, um,
That's the same.
that makes
Yeah.
sense because you don't need placeholders anymore now that you can add them. And then add to
Mm-hmm.
do is a function that you need to pass to the
So
form.
that's all
So I would,
unnecessary.
yeah, you could take that
So,
out, and then I would
all
put
right.
const add to do. I would put that, and then I would
That,
keep
and
toggle
then
complete.
to do list items are still there. And so it adds to do form in the return because that's not there. And it
Yeah.
adds import to do form at the beginning. And then in the function, this is the same. And then I add this maybe above the toggle complete. Okay. So let's try that. Um,
So so do you
uh,
understand why it's very hard for programmers to take seriously
seriously
the idea that this thing is taking your job in a year?
yes.
I mean, it
Yes.
could
Because
happen,
you
I
still
guess,
need to
but
know. All right, let's say since we know what to do, probably to get this working right, let me replace what I did. Let me replace what I did before. And I'm just going to copy all of this and I'm going to stick it right in here. Um, I'm going to, this is also something, there's a shortcut for it. And how do you comment stuff out in this?
uh Command Shift A.
Command Shift A. Okay.
I would just do Command
Could,
Shift
Shift
A. Yeah.
oops,
What?
that is not working.
Option Shift A?
Toggle line. Mine is command slash
Comment? I would do block
backslash.
comment.
There we go.
Oh.
All right. So this is this is really useful. I have found this to be just for the people who are exploring this for the first time is I never delete the old version because I always assume something's going to go wrong. The number of times that I've fed ChatGPT the same crap that I've been working on over and over again. Um, so I comment out the last version of it entirely and then replace it and then put in a new version. Uh-oh. Okay, no. That was right. Um, I thought letters
Yeah.
were
You
gone.
could
Did you see
collapse
that?
things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so so that when we do go back and fix this, obviously I don't have to scroll through and find the stuff again, and I can just highlight and select and say this is what I had before and this is what I have now. What's wrong with this? All right. So I'm going to save this and then run it again, and it's gonna break or it's gonna be weird.
Nope. Then just type something.
Remind me of something.
And then I was looking at this code. This should work. Yeah.
There. This is the
Ooh.
one that remember the
Yeah,
toggle
because
complete
you
is
took
gone
out
now.
toggle
Complete.
Type
Yeah.
error toggle complete is not a function. Okay, so I'm gonna say exactly what I did. I replaced the old app.js with the new one from above, and it gave me this error. What do I do to fix it?
What did I do to deserve this?
What did you do to me? My to-do app is real stinky. Toggle completed not a function. This toggle completed is not defined or not correctly passed. Okay. That's a good guess, buddy. I had to do toggle complete. It adds it back in. Return to-do form and to-do list and toggle complete. All right. I am not going to go back. I'm just going to copy and paste this whole thing. And we're going to do, whoops. Ooh, it's the wrong thing. V2. V3. And then I'm going to Apple comment. This app's getting really big now. And I'm going to paste. And I'm going to command save. Did that just refresh without me doing anything?
Yeah.
Remind me.
I
Plus.
voting.
And the toggle works. There we go. I want to hit space. I want like a circle with a button and a selection. Okay, well now let's do the CSS thing. I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna be nice to my AI. That worked. Thank you. The
CSS is what I'm interested in because I don't.
Yeah.
I've never even thought to try ChatGPT to give me a design.
You're welcome. I'm glad to hear it worked. You always be nice to your ChatGPT, man. One day it's gonna control everything, and it's gonna be, if you're not nice to it, it's gonna kick your ass. No, I actually think there's actually logic. As stupid as that seems, there's actually logic to being nice to it, is because these things are trained on actual conversations and actual responses online. Like, these are human conversations. And if you are nice, like, I highly suspect that, or it just makes logical sense that it's going to more like, it's like being extremely specific, like saying that you're an expert in blah blah blah, and you're more likely to get slightly more detailed answers from that speciality. In that same way, if you're nice, then you're more likely to get the responses from the conversations where people had success and where people were actually nice and gave constructive feedback. Whereas if you say you're a stupid bitch, it's more likely to pull some dumb comment from Twitter.
It's possible.
Or a meme.
I think there's action with sentiment analysis though. I don't think the way that you ask a question is like what is like the baseline what it's responding to. I think it probably extracts the sentiment.
I can't imagine it totally hides it away. I can't imagine it totally works.
Yeah.
But you're probably right.
Yeah. What the reason why I think try to get it to say something fucking horrible about you and your family. It's that I'd say it's probably impossible, and I think the only way they could do that is if they made it like really did everything they could to strip away all sentiment. It's like this thing was trained on the internet. You can't the internet for any length of time without seeing at least like 10 death threats. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Can you give me, okay, right now it looks extremely antiquated, has no aesthetically pleasing design. Can you give me a simple, minimalist, and dark mode? Let's do that. Dark mode style. Let's assume I don't know it's CSS.
Ask it for wait, we'll try that next. I just got a good idea though.
To give me a clean feeling style. Let's be abstract.
I would recommend mentioning CSS in the prompt. Well, we'll see. It might give you a good enough
I want to see. I want to see what it does if I don't know that it's CSS that we're going after.
The thing,
Add some
it
CSS.
doesn't have to use CSS. Like,
Cool.
there's
Okay.
other like more complicated.
Add this to your apps.css. Body color, FFF, going dark, baby. Padding, blah blah blah. This is cool too because like if you have like a text that you want to use, like let's say you have like a branding sheet for something and you know what the text is, like you should go through and find it, or you ask it to update all your styling with this text, or and this is also where screenshot to code, dude. This is I still can't figure out how to utilize this. I think I have to pay for both my API and then also I have to pay for this service to do code generations for $15. I don't know. I'm gonna throw a
I
bunch of money
question
at
if
like a
it's
bunch of
worth
different
it.
services and stick it all together. Dude,
I
it says
question
that
if
I can
this is
drag and
worth it.
drop a screenshot and then it will write React code to recreate it. I mean, obviously it won't plug in to everything. I'll still have to like plug it in on the back end, but I might be able to do a
Yeah, that's the thing
I'm
is
gonna
I
try it.
think that's
It's a
a
much-
much
I
bigger
will find out
task.
if it's
I'm not
worth it.
saying don't try it. I'm just saying this.
Yeah. I'm gonna try it.
I'm
Bitch.
skeptical
You
of it.
shut your mouth.
Well, I think it's fucking
Where did I go
stupid.
with
I don't
that?
know what I'm talking about,
I
but
think
that doesn't matter.
you're an idiot. Welcome to Twitter. Body set explanation list to do items. Okay, sure. Make sure that the CSS. Okay, that's great. It's telling me that I have to make sure that I actually add that into my thing.
Did you
Rest
see
of the
that thing
imports.
on Twitter where someone commented on some MMA fighter's picture like you look like shit, I would beat the shit out of you or something. And then the MMA fighter replied, "Would you say this to me in real life?" And then he said, "No, that's why I said it on Twitter."
Hashtag winning.
Exactly.
Body. Does this have anything here? All right. So your take on this is there? This says I'm doing this in my app.css. Should I change any of the stuff that's already there? Because it still says app header, app link, with a color
Everything
and keyframes,
there,
or should I just add it at
Can
the
you go to
bottom?
app.js?
Can you go to app.js
App.js.
and
Mm-hmm.
so do you see that
Yeah, it's
top
not being
tab
called anymore.
if you move your mouse up?
Eh,
No, up a
Mm-hmm.
little bit, up a little bit. Put your mouse on the tab where up a little bit. Uh, tab.js mx, that thing. Am I making sense?
I'm sorry,
Oh
I'm
no,
losing you.
lag.
Am I
Oh, okay,
the
I'm
lag in
back.
the video is super bad.
Um, so
The
you can
You
put
talking about the
I don't know.
tab?
Yes,
Like the
yes.
tab item?
Click and hold. Click and hold. Now drag it
Okay.
down
To
and
where?
then yeah, like that, right there.
Like that?
Up. Nope, nope.
Okay.
If you drag and then you see that white translucent thing, you want that white
Mm-hmm.
translucent thing to cover half the screen and then let go. I don't know
Half.
how else to
Oh, I'm
describe it.
splitting the
Yeah.
screen.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha. Yeah,
So
Pop OS
I
does
want to
that. I
see.
didn't know what you were getting at. Okay. All right. So
Could you
let's
scroll
get.
down on app.js?
Yeah. Oops.
Yeah, get rid of all that. I'd
So we've
say
got
get rid of all the CSS.
H1. Yeah, I don't think I've even. Yeah, none of this is even being used.
No, which is
Okay. All
unsurprising.
right. So I'm just going to replace.
It looks
I'm going to
basic.
entirely replace this and this. Maybe just for fun, just because this is my process. I'm going to comment it out. And then I'm going to paste this. And I'm going to Command S and save it. And Command S, that's saved already. Wow. That looks great. Look at our to-do list, buddy.
I am very surprised. Oh shit.
Wins the AI Unchained, I don't know, something prize. Boom. Boom. Don't remind me.
Hell yeah.
Boom. Wow, this is actually pretty. This is pretty slick. I'm gonna keep playing with this. We have a to-do app.
And then
I didn't do anything.
we can keep trying to iterate. But like
We could iterate and add things like
scope,
crazy. Yeah.
if we were trying to do this process of like
Can
an AI can for everything to get to the scope
Mhm.
of like
where
we
we
have hair drive right now, it would be such an unbelievable mess. Like it's like building a tree. Like the foundations are all right, but as you keep going up and up,
The bigger you
the
get.
lack of cohesion in the AI overall is just gonna get crazy.
Mm-hmm. But this is perfect for like a single purpose app. Like one of the things that, in fact, it might be fun to do on this show, if people think the idea is worthwhile. But I want to build, and this is kind of exactly how I would do it. And visual studio. How did I not ever use this? I don't know. This is way. This seems way more in line with what I need for
You
this
lagged
than what
out,
I've been doing.
or I lagged out.
Oh, I'm sorry. Um,
No, no, it was.
but
What'd you say?
the other thing I wanted to do was, and I think I told you about this. Hope was um, build a box organizer database, like kind of like this, or let's say I could be like Christmas box uh, number one, and then I could click on this as a link, and then it takes me to a page where I can take screenshots. Excuse me, I can take pictures and add it in. And it's basically like a folder with information, and it's got a notes app, or excuse me, a note that I can edit, and then pictures of stuff. And then this has a link with localhost slash Christmas box 01, and then that link I can put in a QR code and we can stick it on the actual Christmas box, and then I can scan it with with a phone camera, and then it takes me to this page so that I can look around and see what's in our storage boxes without actually having to open up the storage box. So like while all the stuff is stacked, I just have all the QR codes and I can scan and look inside each of the boxes, because as we were packing everything back up, because this is the a universal problem that we have had for God knows how long, is that we just have this I have this wall of boxes in our storage corner, so to speak, and I just have to go and take the whole have to deconstruct the entire wall and open up all the
That's
boxes, and we're like looking for a stuffed animal or a pillow or something, um
I don't
so that's
create QR codes with JavaScript, but
I don't that the
the thing
QR code
about
isn't
that
necessary.
I looked
See, that's the
into it
thing,
a
is I
little
don't have
bit.
to
The
do this with the
thing,
QR code at all. This doesn't have to make the QR code, because the QR code is just a link. So I can just make a separate anything just to make, or I can just do, there's like a QR code maker that's like free, and I just use the link.
you
So
could
all
label the
all this thing needs to
boxes.
have is the localhost :3000 Christmas box, or label them or whatever. Um, so the QR code, it can be entirely separate from all of that. Um, but yeah, that's pretty cool. We have a to do app.
Now, if you close it out and go back to
I
localhost
say we technically
3000,
completed our task. Yeah.
well, we wanted to store it between sessions, which we haven't done. So if you,
Oh, that's right. There's no
yeah, if you
permanent
click
storage.
X,
Okay,
then
let's
just do
go.
localhost
Oh,
3000
cool.
again.
No,
Yeah.
my to-do list.
So,
How can you remind me if you cannot keep any of it? All right, I'm gonna clean up our old
um,
versions. We're not done. We're not done.
yeah,
All right.
it might just be
Now
one
that I have a
prompt
working
delay.
version, all this history is useless.
Yes.
Command save. Command save. Command S.
And the fact that you waited till you have a working version puts you ahead of like 90% of actual programmers.
All right.
So the last network
um.
error, shit.
How do I do this without having to regenerate? I don't want to regenerate.
Uh, I think you just lagged
Coding corner.
out.
Here we go. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I just reset the
I
page.
would say we need to save save the notes between sessions. How should we do that? That's exactly what I would say.
I'm going to pretend I didn't know that that was necessary. And I'm going to say, I refreshed the page and all my reminders are gone. How
Fuck!
can
Exclamation
I
point.
make them permanent? Do what?
I was gonna say fuck! Exclamation point. Like for the prompt.
Shit, what did you do? You made the stupidest app ever. All right, local storage. Constant. Okay, so this is a constant that's going to be in my add to do, save to dos. So this is changing the stuff that we already have in app.js, right?
This, yeah. It's just adding a line to the set to do, um, for save to local storage, and it's giving you a function for save to local storage, and then the use effects.
Okay.
That should all work. You also need to import. Let's just deal with that error when it comes up. I would ignore everything
Import
else. You
React,
don't need
import to-do
fucking cloud
list,
solutions.
function.
That's crazy.
Okay. So this is just in right in my local app.js. Constant toggle complete, constant add to do. All right, let's see what's different here between. How do I undouble?
You can move the tab back into the other row. Yeah, so you can bring that into the, yeah, like that. Yep.
Yeah, there we go. Let's get this out of the way too.
Hey, buddy.
All right. So the add to do says set to dos, and it says new to dos. So would this go inside the constant add to do right here, but then before set to dos?
What?
Do you think?
I'm sorry.
You
I
see
was
this
playing with my
code?
dog. What?
No. All right. So I'm going to add this into our thing.
The save
Function
to
app.
local storage
Mm-hmm.
is just a new thing. That's a new feature that needs to be added. And then
Oh,
the use
new
effect.
file?
Oh,
Uh-huh.
no, not a new file. That's just a new
Not a new
block of
file.
code that you need to add.
Okay.
And then add to do, I would replace the old add to do with that new add to do. And oh
Okay.
yeah.
So all of this would be replaced with this one? Because it's missing is completed text. Oh, wait, no, it's not.
So add to
It's
do,
making a new
it's
constant.
yeah, and it's doing
Okay, so
that
I just
because
need
it
to
needs to
replace
put it. Yeah, it needs to put it in the new to dos, and it needs to put it in local storage.
I'm just going to copy this. Dang it. Why does it keep doing this? I'm using it too much. It's going to ask me for more money. Who's a good puppy? Who's a good puppy?
Not him.
Bogart picked his head up. He's like, what? What, Daddy?
I'm a good boy.
You want to come over here, buddy? We're getting our doggies on the camera. Come on over. Come here. Come here, Bobo. Whoa, this is making it much bigger now. Is it giving me the whole? Here's an updated version of your app.js with these changes. Okay, cool. So rather than telling me, it's trying to rewrite the entire app.js this time. That's funny. It gave me a completely different answer this time from the exact same thing. It's usually extremely consistent.
I think we should just try.
So.
Oh, and it gave you how it works. Let's see.
Yeah. So I'm going to comment this out again. And I'm gonna version 2. I'm gonna paste. I'm gonna save. I'm gonna do this. Hi. Task 1. Task 2. Testy. Make testing task. All right, and then I'm gonna cancel. I'm gonna local host, and they're there. They're still there. I don't even know what it did.
It's saving in local storage.
No, I know, but I don't know where. Use state local storage dot get item. Is it just saving it like within the exact same? Like, what's the folder structure? Like, where would I find it? Let me bring my.
Where would you find where it's
Side pane
saving?
back.
It's saving in the browser.
Is it just saving it in
Browser.
the?
Local storage.
So if I clear
local
my
storage
browser cache,
is
this will be gone.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. How can local storage? I'm just going to ask it. If I clear my browser cache, whoops, will this information disappear? I can't test it now because
So
I'm in a live
cache is just another word for local storage.
Yeah, but I'm just meaning that, like, is this stored? Is it my browser that's controlling this information versus can I just put this in like a folder? Can I direct it somewhere? You know,
You need a server to do that.
will be deleted.
Yeah.
I need a
For any,
server.
if you want, yeah.
Does this not have access to
server?
basically save something to my computer?
Exactly.
Is there a way to make it do that?
Electron?
So I
Or
need a server.
create a server. Yeah.
Or create a server.
Node.js is the thing that builds and hosts the React app. The React app itself is JavaScript. Node cannot run in the browser. So what Electron does is it gives you a browser that can. That's basically what it does. So when you open up Electron, you're working with a modified web browser, pretty much. Any app based in Electron.
Okay. Wow. Man, it's amazing how complex all this stuff is.
Oh yeah, that's why every fucking web developer is losing their mind.
Like you would just think that, like, okay, well, here's the data, so I just hit a save button and I just be like, add me a save button. It's like, oh well, now you need to run a server. It's like, what do you mean? It's all right here.
And
What's
then
wrong
the
with you?
nature of
Just save it,
saving
you son of a bitch.
local storage is a whole other can of worms too, because the local storage is actually just a fucking string that you need to turn into data.
That's funny. It's a thing, man. So should we figure out how to? Should we go that far, or do we close this one right
Let's
here?
ask it. Let's ask it if we want to put this in Electron instead. Let's see if it can. That'd be crazy.
Okay.
If it can turn that into a meaningful response. Yeah, that'd be wild.
So how should I ask it? Can I put this in Electron so that I can?
I'd
store
like
this
to convert. I'd like
permanently?
to convert this code base to Electron so that I can store the two apps in a database.
Stress this thing out.
If you ask me, there's like a 2% chance that we get a reasonable response.
All day. Leave me alone. So install Electron, Electron starter.js in your project root. Modify package.json. It's doing something.
Holy
All right,
shit.
let me start with npm install. Hold on a second. Let me close all this.
I can't believe
Close.
it gave a response this good.
Refresh. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna npm install save dev electron builder. Whatever the hell. All right. It's doing a thing. I don't know what I did. I'm so gonna break my computer this way.
No,
All
you'll
right.
be fine.
Electron
Just as long we
Electron
fixed,
intro
there was a
box.
pop.
Famous last words. Famous
everything,
last
but-
words.
Nah, you
I'm
if
gonna
you were
sudo something.
sudoing everything, no.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Sudoing something, that's how you break it.
Starter.js. That's how you break it. All right. 8 vulnerabilities. 2 moderate, 6 high. See, I told you we were gonna break something. Well, it's telling me to do this. Should I audit?
They're usually only a big
I'm gonna do it. I
deal.
lost you. I'm not connected. Yeah.
You can't hear me?
No, I got you now.
Usually, unless they're like critical, it's just like if you
Mm-hmm.
misuse the package in a certain way, you open yourself up to vulnerabilities. That's usually the nature of them.
Okay. npm audit fix. Well, I'll leave it for now. I'm wasting time. Come on, dang it. Is there a shortcut for clearing the thing other than like going up until I find like CD and then I can delete it really quick?
I don't know. Down on the arrow key, I think that works.
I hit down all the way to the most recent. Like I hit up and wait, no, it did. It did. I can do down. Or wait, if I type something. Okay, no, down just gets me to the latest. Yeah, I don't know how to delete all of it. And you can't highlight delete. All right, anyway. Oh no, it died. It died. It stopped halfway. All right, let's try it again. Let's stress it. Regenerate. Give it to me.
I wonder if we're
lose the
gonna get a
half
response
response.
as good.
I lose the half response. Dang it. Well, last time it gave me a better response when I regenerated. All right, so we've done this step. Boom.
Wait, you saw the electron? Okay.
I did. I have 1 warning and 6 vulnerabilities or something. I don't know. All right, Electron JS. Okay, so this gave me a different one. Last time it was Electron starter.js.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. Electron
Really
JS would be fine.
Just as long as you point to it later, according to the right name. Update the scripts section. Run your
Which is just
app.
add Electron.
Come on, baby. Keep working. Keep it up. Don't give up on me. Come on. For local database.
If it gives you a good answer to that one too, that would be nuts.
It's going to freak out. It's not going to work. All right, I'm gonna copy this real quick before I lose it, and I'm gonna say that I did these steps already. All right, so in my oh, it's still running. It's still running. Okay, I have hope. I believe in you, ChatGPT. Electron.js in the root folder. All right, so that's root folder, not in source folder, but like way up here, right?
This is this is root. Wait. Yeah. No.
File.
I guess
It's in
yeah.
the
You'd put
src.
if
It's in the
it's.
source folder.
I would put it where it says to put it.
Electron JS. I'm going to put it right, yeah, into my to-do app, right? That would be the root folder of my to-do app, right?
I guess. I'm not sure what it wants you to
I'm gonna
do.
do it. Root of your project, name main.gs. Main.gs.
I
Actually,
think
I'll
that would probably be
redo
breaking.
that one because main. All right, I'm gonna paste this. I'm gonna save it. How we doing? Come on, baby, don't give up on me.
Well,
Uh,
try it. So go to package.json.
Hold on a second. Update the scripts in your package.json. Okay.
Yeah, it got that right. Um, yeah, it just wants you to add
Update.
the electron at the end.
Oh, just select just this here.
Yeah.
Okay.
You need to put a comma.
Why is it so?
You need to put a comma on line 18 at the
Oh,
end.
oh, oh. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, there you go. Yep.
Syntax. It's a bit. Oh, it died. It died. It died. Okay.
That's okay.
Well, this
I think
should
if
still work. npm run and start, right?
yeah.
Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens.
So
npm
so
start.
don't use that terminal. I recommend not using that terminal. I'd go back to VS Code.
Okay.
Do you see that
Yeah.
darker black on the very bottom of VS Code? You see that darker black bar? The space in between the lighter black and the darker black, you want to put your mouse there. Nope, up, up. Yep, the up arrow. You want it. Did you notice that up arrow? Yes. Yeah, drag
Aha.
up. So now on the top right, on the top of the terminal, those two rectangles next to the trash can
Let's
on the
make this a
top of the
bit bigger.
terminal.
Yep. This one.
Click that. Okay, so in one of those, you want to write npm start,
npm start.
and then in the other one, what did
Wants to
ChatGPT say?
access.
Electron,
Yeah.
npm electron or something. What? Go. Can you go back to ChatGPT?
Yeah. And npm run electron.
npm run electron. Okay. Yeah.
All right,
And
so
then you
this
do
is
that in the other
started, and then
terminal
you want me to do
window.
this over here?
Yeah.
npm
Yeah.
run electron. So basically what I'm doing right now is I've started the app again, and now I also need to run electron at the exact same time because it's looking for an electron to talk to, right? Is that right?
I don't think there's any reason to actually do npm run start, but that's what it's to do, so we'll see.
Okay. Unable to find app. Cannot find module. It's right there. Oh. Wait, no, that would work.
Can you go back to package? I would say I would just put that error in ChatGPT.
Okay, let me try it again then. Okay. Better or worse? I didn't get an error. I mean, I didn't get an answer. Worse. I gotta refresh this so that I can enter it. Oh. Oh. It did finish. It just didn't propagate. Okay, here we go. Here
Yeah,
we go.
nothing here is gonna
Nothing there matters.
nothing it put is
Or
gonna
is
fix the issue that we
important right
currently
now.
have. So
Got you.
I'd
Okay.
recommend pasting that error.
I added the main.js file and also added the electron item into the scripts. But when I tried to run it, I got this error. Oh crap, it didn't save. Copy. There we go. Unable to find Electron app at that. You're in kind of tooling, so unable to find your main app script. Oh wait. What was in our script? Electron dot. Should that be main?
I'd say
dot?
./main.js or just main.js. That's what I think it. I think that's what the issue is. See if ChatGPT could figure it out.
The script to start Electron main. Update the main field in package.json. Is there a main already? Do I
No,
add that?
that's a messed up response. It gave you the right response initially, and now it's just making up a bunch of shit.
Gotcha.
Like
in package.json.
incorrect path in package.json. That's what it is. So we want to go back to the package.json and just exchange that dot for main.js.
This dot.
Yeah. And then command S.
So this is going to run this when it calls that, right?
Yeah.
Is that what that's referring to? Okay.
Mm-hmm. So if you save that file
the main
and then
file name. Execute it again, just see if it works.
And then just try to run Electron again.
Oof. Cannot find module.
Oh, you didn't install Electron as dev.
What is that?
Electron -is -dev. The first time you asked Electron, it did bring that up, but the second time when you regenerated the response, it didn't. npm install Electron -is -dev.
All right, let's. First off, I want to see what this says. Verify the main script file name and location. If you named it electron.js in your package.json, it should reflect that. If you named it main.js, make sure it's correctly referenced. Okay, so that is correct. Like that's what I should have done. Place the file in the current location. A root directory,
Deku,
not
come
inside
here.
source or any other subfolder.
Deku.
Update main field in package.json to point to your main electron script. Electron start script. Retry running your Electron app. Okay. Updated the. Let's go ahead and put in my error. Actually, no. I don't know why this is so. This doesn't take my keyboard inputs. Where is it? It's like behind stuff. Damn it. Let's try this again. npm run electron. Error. Uncaught exception. Copy. Okay. And paste. I updated the scripts in package.json to include the electron item as main.js, as you can see here. Whoops. Ah, son of a... All right, well, let's see what happens. I meant to add a new line, and I accidentally hit return instead of shift return. This module is
That's
missing.
okay. It only needed the
installing
first 4
electron.
lines of that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly.
Okay, so should I do that in my main terminal?
It doesn't matter which terminal.
npm install.
What
doesn't
that's
matter, I
going
can
to
do it over here
do
too.
is it's going to update the package.json. If you scroll down on the
Scroll down on the packages. Say again.
dependencies
Lost
or
you.
dev dependencies.
Sorry, say that again.
Hello? You see dev
All right, yeah,
dependencies
there
when
you
you
go.
scroll down?
Yes.
You want
Yes.
electron is dev in there. So when you type npm install
Electron is dev,
dev, push that in there. So just type
Puts
npm
that in the
install electron.
package.json file?
You'll see. Just do you'll
Okay.
see. You see how the package.json scroll. So if you scroll up, you'll see it in dependencies. Scroll up. Scroll up.
Whoa.
See it?
Well, that's neat.
And so that corresponds
Yeah, learn.
to folders that are inside of node modules.
Okay,
So when you
that's in
type
here.
npm install, yes.
So that's like
So if you scroll
Scroll
down through all
electron
no,
is
scroll down,
dev.
scroll down. Scroll. You'll see scroll down.
Whoa, there's a lot of
Way
crap.
down. Yep.
Yeah, I'm looking for E.
Yep. Welcome. Electron.
Is dev.
Electron is dev.
Amazing.
Yep. That's how that works.
Amazing. Today I learned. It's amazing how much one session of this like can teach you about how to do this. I would have probably run into 2 really annoying roadblocks so far if I was completely by myself though. That
And
one
it
would have been
gets
difficult. That script
exponentially more
problem.
complicated the more things we add too.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
can
This
see how
is
this gets out of control quick and then like it's like really hard to correct because you don't know where the error is and it's not going to be able to really figure that out either, you know, because
yeah.
there's too large of a context to even kind of piece that together. Because it did not explicitly give me this. It did not explicitly give me this, but it did tell me that that name was wrong. Then it told me to update a main and add electron.js, which was weird because I told it that the other thing was the name. Okay,
It almost feels like the
so
more
let's try
lines
this
of
again.
code there are, the drunker it gets. That's kind of how it feels.
Drunker. Yeah. Okay, hold on a second.
There we go. Now we have a desktop application.
Reminder 1.
And now
So
X out
so we have a
and then
desktop
open it
app
again.
because
Potentially, there's one thing we have to test. Close it out.
and that's because of
then
Electron
Control
that
C.
changed that?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you close out, so close out of the Electron and then
Why can't I type this?
yes. And then close out the Electron.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
And
run it again?
then yeah.
Boom, boom.
Nice.
And then it's permanent. So what did this do
Nice.
exactly? Is Electron, you said Electron is running a browser. Is this just running its
Yeah.
own
So
browser that never
Electron
clears?
is a
Like it just saves the
Electron is a Chromium instance that
Mhm.
allows you to run Node.js, which gives you shell access, so you can access the file
Okay.
system, so you can use like databases, so you can do all the things that every
Mhm.
other functioning programming language can use. JavaScript in the browser is fundamentally other programming languages aren't. Electron, and
Mhm.
Node.js lets you get through that. Um, so what you have open right now is like you could think of it as you built a custom Chromium engine. That's almost
Okay.
like what you did. Electron's
Interesting.
kind of weird.
Where does where would this fit into like the the app environment and stuff when we're talking about different operating systems? Um, is this something that like could be a PWA sort of thing, a progressive web app on
Um,
an iPhone or something?
yeah, not from Electron. Electron is a desk. So when I say it's a browser thing,
Hmm.
on a under the hood, it contains
Yeah,
a Chromium engine. It's fundamentally different from your web browser. So progressive
sure.
wouldn't be Electron. What we built before, we could turn into a progressive like that. The React app,
Hmm.
we could turn that into a progressive web app, not the Electron part.
Okay,
But we could also have both
not the
at the
Electron
same
part.
time potentially.
Okay.
But once we add like an SQLite database, then we're
Hmm.
outside the realm of what we can run on the browser. So
Okay.
like you can still have a PWA that uses a database, but it needs to have like
Hmm.
a server running that's completely divorced from it.
Something
That you just
hosting the SQLite that everything
yeah,
talks to. Okay.
yeah,
So
exactly.
let's say I wanted to add some complexity to this. Could I do the quote unquote the SQLite database as if I'm making its own app that has nothing to do with this, and then give it that context, and then say, how do I make this React app, this to do list, pull from this database, SQLite, and basically give it like whatever API or instructions are necessary to talk to
If
that, and
your
then give it a location,
if your
and then it can just
database
pull
has
from
like
that like
one
a folder.
file, yeah, I see
Hmm.
what you're asking. If your database has like one file and it's very simple, the thing is you have a
Hmm.
database, right? And that's just the way
Hmm.
that you contain and manipulate data, and you have that running.
Hmm.
How is this other process going to communicate with it? Process communication inherently. What you need is that database running on a server that has an API
Yeah.
that your app can access. So there's like several things that the AI would need to build, and then getting these all these separate things to work together. Like let's
Hmm.
say you have an issue where you're trying to store a note from the progressive web app into the database, and for some reason you store a note with the number 5 in it, it just doesn't work for whatever weird arbitrary reason, and you
Hmm.
tell that to uh, ChatGPT, the odds of it knowing what went wrong at that point are very low, unless you did were very conscious with your error handling. Um,
Hmm.
Once you start to have that many moving parts, like you have like a separate database with a server with an API that's talking to this React app, there's way too much context for it. I don't think. I think it stopped at that point.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I would say at this point, we succeeded in creating a permanent app. The probably my thing now, if I wanted to do a next step, is how would I save this so I could essentially double click on it? Do you know off the top of your head? So I could double click and run
Like
it?
make a one click to execute this. Yeah,
Yeah.
Apple script that CDs into that instance and start Electron and then just double click on that. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
That's how you could do it.
So the
That's a way
Apple
that you
script
could do
would
it.
just kind of like would kind of like internally run the terminal commands that I would otherwise use in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just boom, it just pops this right up. And then
Mm-hmm.
I have my reminders.
Yes.
I think I might repurpose this for my box organizer app and screw around with this for a couple hours and see if I can do that on my own.
I'd
And then I will come
recommend
back to you
saving this
and maybe we'll
version.
do like a oh
Let's
yeah, I'm gonna do save.
let's
I,
we
I
could
always
do
I
a
always do
running
that. I save the
series.
old version and then go on to the next one. Yeah.
We
So
we
I'm
could
gonna
do a running
save.
series.
everything. Everything's good. This is pretty cool. This is pretty cool. I say we did relatively successful on the first one. Lots of questions, took a lot longer than I thought. Um, this is gonna be hard to keep this up because I'm gonna accidentally learn things that will screw up my context, my perspective. This is gonna make it harder for people to follow as we continue to do
But
this.
if we can
I'm gonna
grow
have
an
to try really,
audience,
really hard to
there
play
will
dumb when I actually learn something, and keep that perspective or whatever. So let's go ahead and stop this.
yeah. I've I've
I
lost
lost
that
that.
perspective, unfortunately.
All right. All right. Well, then I say we are successful. We're hour and 45 minutes into making a simple to do
Project.
app with a 30-minute project with entirely at least 95% chat GPT and a little bit of hope correction. And yeah, success. Well done. Thank you, dude. Thank you for joining us. All right, so we'll figure out what we're gonna do for the next one, and we'll catch you back here. Peace.